Hello, and welcome to The Inspired Lens, the podcast where we look at life through a lens of inspiration, possibility, and purpose. I'm your host, Silas Lounge. Have you ever found yourself ticking off boxes? You know the ones: get the degree, land the good job, maybe climb a few rungs on the ladder, aim for the corner office, the bigger house, the faster car. You achieve something you thought you should want. Something society told you equals success. But instead of feeling fulfilled, there's this quiet echo, a little voice asking, is this really it? Is this what I wanted? Maybe you've looked at someone else's seemingly perfect life on social media. The promotions, the exotic vacations, the flawless family photos, and felt a pang of, well, maybe inadequacy, or perhaps just confusion, because your own path, even if objectively good, doesn't feel quite as shiny, or more importantly, as meaningful. If any of that resonates, you're not alone. So many of us, especially when we're starting out or navigating early career stages, inherit definitions of success that aren't truly our own. Today, we're peeling back those layers. We're going beyond the conventional metrics, the salary figures, the job titles, the external validation, to explore what personal success and a truly meaningful life can look like for you. We'll journey together to uncover core values, ignite passions, and think about how to align our everyday lives with a deeper sense of purpose, understanding that this definition isn't static. It's a living, breathing thing that evolves with us. So, grab a cup of tea, find a comfortable spot, and let's explore how to define success on your own terms. It often starts subtly. We absorb messages from everywhere: family, school, media, even well-meaning friends. These messages build a picture of what a successful life should look like. It often involves stability, financial security, status, all things that aren't inherently bad, of course. Security is important, but the emphasis can become skewed. We start living what I call the checklist life. Degree? Check. First job? Check. Promotion? Check. Relationship? Check. We're so focused on the next item on the list, the next external marker, that we forget to check in with ourselves. How does this feel? Does this work align with what I care about? Does this path light me up? I remember talking to a friend a few years ago. On paper, she had it all. Prestigious job at a top firm, incredible salary, beautiful apartment in the city. Everyone told her how successful she was. But when we spoke privately, she confessed she felt empty, trapped even. She called her job golden handcuffs, comfortable, secure, but preventing her from exploring what truly mattered to her, which she hadn't even had the headspace to figure out. This isn't uncommon. We can get so caught up in climbing a ladder that we don't stop to ask if the ladder is leaning against the right wall. We chase society's definition of success, often driven by fear of judgment, fear of instability, fear of not measuring up. But chasing external validation is like drinking salt water. The thirstier you become, the more you drink, but it never truly quenches. So, the first step in defining personal success is acknowledging and gently questioning the definitions we've inherited. Where did my idea of success come from? Is it truly mine? Or is it borrowed? Okay, so if the external checklist isn't the answer, what is? The alternative isn't about rejecting ambition or financial stability outright. It's about shifting the focus inward. It's about cultivating what I like to call your inner compass. Imagine success not as a destination defined by others, but as a direction guided by your own internal navigation system. This compass is calibrated by your core values, your passions, your unique sense of purpose. When you start defining success based on internal metrics, like growth, contribution, connection, authenticity, joy, peace, something magical happens. The pressure eases. The need for external validation lessens. You begin to make choices aligned with who you are, not who you think you should be. Think about someone you admire, not necessarily for their fame or fortune, but for the way they live their life. Perhaps it's a local artist who creates beautiful work despite modest earnings, or a teacher who clearly loves nurturing young minds, or a friend who prioritizes family and community above all else. What you're likely admiring is their alignment. Their life seems congruent with their inner world. They've defined success on their own terms. This is empowering. It means you get to write your own definition. Success could mean mastering a skill, building deep relationships, contributing to a cause you believe in, living healthily, having time for creative pursuits, or simply feeling a sense of contentment and peace. It's deeply personal. It's not about comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. It's about writing your story, guided by your inner compass. So, how do we find this inner compass? How do we identify those core values and passions that will guide us? This requires a bit of introspection, some quiet time away from the noise. It's not always easy, especially if we've spent years ignoring that inner voice, but it's incredibly rewarding. Let's try a few reflective exercises right now. You might want to pause after each question, or perhaps jot down your thoughts later. First, think about moments when you felt truly alive and energized. What were you doing? Who were you with? What was it about that experience that lit you up? Often, these peak moments point directly towards our core values. Perhaps it was connection, creativity, adventure, learning, or service. Second, when do you lose track of time? What activities absorb you so completely that hours feel like minutes? This is often where passion lies. It might be coding, gardening, playing music, deep conversation, problem solving, organizing, or teaching. Don't dismiss anything as just a hobby. These are clues. Third, what makes you angry or frustrated about the world? What injustices or problems really get under your skin? Often, the flip side of frustration is a deep-seated value. If inequality bothers you, perhaps fairness and justice are core values. If environmental destruction upsets you, maybe stewardship or sustainability is key. Fourth, what did you love doing as a child before the shoulds set in? Were you constantly drawing, building things, telling stories, exploring nature, taking things apart? Sometimes our earliest joys hold the purest expression of our innate inclinations. And finally, who do you genuinely admire and why? Look beyond their achievements. What qualities do they embody? Their courage, their compassion, their integrity, their curiosity? The qualities you admire in others often reflect the values you hold dear or aspire to. Take some time with these questions. Be honest and gentle with yourself. Your values are the bedrock of your inner compass. Your passions are the activities that make the journey joyful. They are the why behind your actions. Knowing your values and passions is a huge step. But the real transformation happens when we start consciously aligning our daily lives, our choices, our habits, our actions, with that inner compass. This is where the abstract concepts of purpose and meaning become tangible. It doesn't mean you need to quit your job tomorrow and move to a monastery, unless that is your calling. Alignment often happens in small, incremental steps. It's about bridging the gap between who you aspire to be, guided by your values, and who you are day to day. Let's make this practical. Pick one core value you identified. Let's say it's connection. How could you bring more connection into your week? Maybe it's scheduling a non-work-related call with a friend. Perhaps it's putting your phone away during dinner with family. Maybe it's striking up a brief conversation with a barista or neighbor. Or perhaps a value is learning. Could you dedicate 15 minutes each morning to reading a book on a topic that fascinates you? Could you sign up for that online workshop you've been eyeing? Could you listen to an educational podcast, like this one, during your commute? If creativity is a core value, can you spend 10 minutes sketching during your lunch break? Write one paragraph of that story idea? Try a new recipe? The key is small, consistent actions. These daily choices are like tiny threads. Individually, they might seem insignificant, but woven together over time, they create a strong, beautiful tapestry, a life lived in alignment with your values. This alignment reduces internal friction. When your actions match your values, you feel more authentic, more grounded, more you. This is where a sense of purpose starts to bloom, not necessarily as one grand, singular mission, but as the feeling that your life has direction and coherence, guided by what truly matters to you. As we align our daily actions with our values and passions, something profound happens. We start building not just a successful life by our own definition, but a meaningful one. Purpose isn't always about changing the entire world. It's often found in the why behind our actions, rooted in our values. Your purpose might be to bring joy through your art, to foster understanding through your communication, to build security for your family, to champion a cause you believe in, or to simply show up with kindness and integrity each day. It's the intention and the impact, however small or large, guided by your inner compass. Meaning often arises from three things. 1. Connection, feeling part of something larger than ourselves. Community, family, shared humanity. 2. Contribution, using our unique skills and passions to make a positive difference, however we define that. 3. Growth, continuously learning, evolving, and becoming more of who we are meant to be. And this naturally leads us to think about legacy, not necessarily statues or buildings in our name, but the ripple effect of a life lived with intention. What impact do you want to have on the people around you? What values do you want to embody and pass on? What difference, big or small, do you hope your time here makes? Living in alignment with your purpose is building your legacy day by day. Now here's a crucial piece of wisdom. Your definition of success and purpose is not set in stone. It will change. It should change. Think about it. The priorities you had as a teenager are likely different from your priorities now as a young professional. Life happens. We gain experience, we face challenges, we learn, we grow. Our values might deepen or shift focus. New passions might emerge. What felt purposeful at 25 might feel different at 35 or 55. Success might mean adventure and exploration in one season of life, and stability and deep community roots in another. Purpose might shift from career achievement to mentoring others, or from personal growth to community service. The beauty is in embracing this evolution. Don't cling rigidly to an outdated definition. Periodically check in with your inner compass. Ask yourself, do my current goals still align with my core values? Is my definition of success still serving me? Am I still making space for my passions? Allowing your definition to evolve is a sign of growth and self-awareness. It's part of the journey. Be flexible, be curious, and be compassionate with yourself as you navigate these shifts. So, as we wrap up today's exploration, let's hold on to these key ideas. True success isn't just about climbing someone else's ladder or ticking off boxes on a pre-written checklist. It's about tuning into your own inner compass, identifying your core values, igniting your passions, and bravely defining what a fulfilling, meaningful life looks like for you. It's about translating those values into small, consistent daily actions, weaving a tapestry of purpose, thread by thread, and it's about embracing the journey, allowing your definition of success and meaning to evolve as you grow. This isn't a one-time task, but a lifelong practice of reflection and alignment. It requires courage to question the status quo and honesty to listen to your own heart. But the reward is immense, a life that feels authentic, purposeful, and truly your own. What does personal success look like for you right now? What's one small step you can take this week to align your actions with a core value? I'd love to hear your reflections. Share your thoughts in the comments below, or connect with us on social media using the hashtag #InspiredLensPurpose. What resonated with you today? And if you found value in this conversation, please consider giving this episode a like. It really helps others find the show. Make sure you subscribe to The Inspired Lens so you don't miss future episodes where we explore more ways to live an inspired life. And hit that notification bell to stay updated. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, you are the author of your story and the definer of your success. Go out there and live it with purpose.